All right, today we're going to talk about the area and circumference of circles. Area we've talked about on the squares and rectangles and parallelograms. The area is what covers, or the amount of space that the shape takes up, so the inside part. The circumference is just how we say perimeter for circles. The reason we have to use another word is because perimeter talks about the sides of the shape, and a circle doesn't have any sides. So for perimeter or circumference, we're talking about the distance around the circle. All right, so we're going to have two formulas that we're going to work with, and we're going to find the area and circumference of each shape. So the formula for the area of a circle is equal to pi r squared. Now the symbol pi means a number, and it's 3.14159, and it just keeps going forever and ever. And so typically we'll just use the 3.14. The r stands for radius, and in a circle, the radius goes from the center to the edge of the circle. So to find the area of this circle, we're just going to take pi times the radius, which is 20, and we have to go 20 squared. So 20 squared is just 20 times 20, which would give us 400. And so one way we would write this answer is to say 400 pi. If we didn't have a calculator, this would be our answer. Or if you do have a calculator, you would just do 400 times 3.14. And if you most calculators will have a button that says pi, and if you press it, you'll notice you get all the digits. So not all of them, but as many as the calculator can display. We're going to ignore that pi button for right now and just use our 3.14 approximation. So I'll just do 400 times 3.14, and that gives us 1,256. So the area is equal to 1,256. So we have two possible answers for the area. It's either 400 pi or 1,256. So now if we were going to find the circumference, we have a circumference formula, and that is 2 times pi times r. So in both formulas, we use the symbol pi, and in both formulas, we use the radius, except one has a 2 in front, and one has a 2 as an exponent. And so this means radius times radius, and just means we're going to take 2 times the answer of that. All right, so it's going to be 2 times pi, and our radius is still 20 over here. And so 2 times 20 gives us 40 pi. So if we didn't have a calculator, that would be our answer. If you do get to use a calculator, then it'd be 40 times 3.14. So 40 times 3.14 gives us 125.6. So depending on what tools you have available, we have two different possible answers. So you're going to try 1B. You're going to find the area using pi r squared, and you're going to find the circumference using 2 pi r. So since you have the calculator on your Chromebook, go ahead and get the answer written without pi. All right, for 2A, we have a circle again, but now what's different about this circle is they give you the line that goes all the way across the circle, and that line is called the diameter. So from one side through the center of the circle to the other side is called the diameter. We're going to find the area and the circumference of the circle. Now you'll see that the formula just has the radius, not the diameter. So what we want is we just want from the center to the edge. And so if the whole thing is 18, that means the radius is just half of that, so 9. So we get pi times the radius of 9 squared. 9 squared gives us 81, and so we would write our answer as 81 pi. Since we have a calculator, let's go ahead and do 81 times 3.14, and that gives us 254.34. So it's going to be or 254.34. And I actually forgot in the other part of the video to include the units, so if it had a unit on it, you would want to make sure you're talking about units squared, because we are talking about area. Even here, we'd want to say units squared. Now, if they said that was 18 inches, then you would say 81 pi inches squared. All right, so we also want the circumference, so we'll use that formula. And so the radius is still 9, nothing's changed there, so 2 pi times 9, so 9 times 2 gives us that 18 pi. Now here would just be 18 pi units because it's just a round, nothing's been multiplied, so it stays as units. So our circumference is 18 pi units. If you have a calculator, which you do, you'd want to go ahead and go 18 times 3.14. So 18 times 3.14, 56.52. All right, so now you're going to try 2b on your own. Again, you're going to find the area using pi r squared, and you'll find circumference using 2 pi r. All right, so in 3a, we want to find the area of the shaded region. And so we're still going to use our formula of a equals pi r squared. But now what we're going to do is, if this entire part up here was shaded, then this would be half the circle. Okay? But then half of that half is shaded. And so this represents a quarter of the circle, because it would take 4 of those pieces to make a whole circle. And so we're going to take our answer and divide by 4. And so our radius is given to us as 3. So it's pi times 3 squared divided by 4. 3 squared is 9, so we get 9 pi divided by 4. On our calculator, we would just do 9 times 3.14 equals, and then take that answer and divide it by 4, which gives us 7.065. 7.065. And then we're going to run around this, and so we'll go ahead and say that it's 7.07 units squared. Now, this number, if this were shaded all the way across here, then we would divide by 2, because it would take 2 pieces to cover up the whole circle. So you're going to do 3b on your own, and we have 2 shapes. So you're going to start by finding the area of the square, and you're going to subtract out the area of the circle. So good luck.